Moscow Red Legion came very close to winning an event last season, but fell short, placing second in both Chicago and Phoenix, though they proved their program could survive and thrive after losing high-profile players. And they're going to have to do it again in 2013, as they lost the first attackers on both the Dorito and the Snake side when Marcelo Margot and Axel Godin returned to the teams that they started their careers with. But they still have the 2012 Top Gun title holder Alexander Burnikoff and team captain Kirill Pridny, who both played out of their minds last season. Red Legion also picked up Michael Kovar from X Factor to take Axel's spot in the Snake, who will be playing in front of Rookie of the Year Jason Wheeler. Moscow still has the best coaching system in paintball, some of the best players in the league, and they are always a threat to win the PSP title. Coming off one of the most successful years any professional team has ever had in only their first year together, every pro team in the world is looking to knock Houston Heat off their pedestal. But that's a tough proposition, given the depth of their talent, the strength of their leadership, and Heat's drive to stay at the top. Bad news for the rest of the league is that their roster is exactly the same for 2013. The three Russian killers, Sergei Solnitskov, Mishka, and Konstantin Fedorov, all had an amazingly productive 2012. Also, the clutch ability of Sam Monville, who won Heat their first event in Phoenix last year, the best Snake player 2012, Chad George, and the best coach in paintball, Jason Trojan, make Heat difficult to defeat under any circumstance. Even though most of the top teams have made power moves to strengthen their rosters, Houston Heat is still the team to beat in 2013.
So here we go. Can't wait to see this game. Got ourselves a grudge match as we are about to watch Houston Heat take on Moscow Red Legion here. Saturday's competition, the 2013 PSP Mid-Atlantic Open, second stop on the tour. Next one's going to be coming at you in a couple months at CPX in Chicago. And man, I'll tell you what, these two teams, I want to say they don't like each other. They hate each other on the field because there's a lot at stake here. And Houston Heat, the defending champions from 2012, they won 3 events last year. They won the World Cup. Moscow Red Legion's been spending 2 years rebuilding their team after 3 of the guys that are on Houston Heat came off Moscow Red Legion. You know, they helped really make Moscow Red Legion a household paintball name. And those guys are Konstantin Fedorov and Mishka Kiesnev and Sergei Solnitskov. Yeah, so don't forget, man, 2013 PSP Chicago Open, June 20th through the 23rd. It's going to sell out. This event sold out. The first event in Dallas sold out. So you want to sign up for that event and make sure you get your team in there. Join the fight. All right, on the first breakout here, looking at Moscow Red Legion on the Snake side and all the way to Snake one off the break. Good job. Actually came around the back bunker to get in there. So, and then, but Ronnie Dizon for Houston Heat. Looking at Moscow Red Legion on your screen, but there's Dizon on your screen. And Dizon, man, he's playing great for Houston Heat.
Yeah, he's been solid. Every game, he's doing whatever Coach Trojan asked him to do.
You know, but both these teams are 1 and 2 right now, and that is, I mean, that's how crazy the Champions Division is that Houston Heat's 1 and 2, and so's Moscow Red Legion.
Yeah,
and Ryan Smith gets shot out of the Snake Tower. He comes walking off. Ronnie Dizon gets shot moving up the Snake side. Fedorov bumps out of that temple in the middle and comes across to the Snake to stop the bleeding over here on the Snake side. As Houston Heat loses the first 2 bodies, the Moscow Red Legion still at full strength, bumping into the Snake 2 and starting to shoot across the field at Chad Boucher, who is in the Dorito 1 for Houston Heat.
Yeah, and Houston Heat on their Dorito side lineup on your screen right now. Only 3 players left alive, and 2 of them are right there on the Dorito side. So, you know, Fedorov on an island over here, Snake side, and it's going to be tough for him because Moscow Red Legion in real good field position.
And there goes Lukashuk, number 69 for Moscow Red Legion, into the 50 Dorito on the Snake side. Pantaleev got shot out of the back corner for Moscow Red Legion. He's having a little bit of a rough event.
Yeah.
You know, just he's the support guy over here on the Snake side. You know, they've been losing him early, you know, quite a bit this event. But, you know, normally the rock for that team just, you know, solid and steady, no superstar moves.
Is Pantaleev. He's
always
like
alive.
He just consistently does his job. And here's one that's always just out there, rock.
Biernikov.
Yeah, Biernikov is definitely the rock for Moscow, especially, you know, a guy like that on a team like that. This is fundamentally important because he's the veteran on the team. He was the Top Gun Award winner last year, the best player in paintball statistically in 2012. And really going to have to lead by example here. Quiet Killer, Britnikov making his move up. You're looking at the lineup on the Dorito side of the field.
Oh, it looked like Fedorov may have bounced the 40 Dorito over there. I think that's Golev in the front of the gun. He does, but then Golev gets the shot in on Fedorov, so Fedorov comes walking off, and just Mishka and Boucher over there on the Dorito side. And here comes a swarming attack of Moscow Red Legion. Lukashuk down the snake side. Bridney and Bierdnikov through the middle.
Oh, Lukashuk gets shot, though.
And
so they still got a chance.
Crossing it up. Oh, and a Golev gets shot as well by Mishka.
Wow, so now we got a 2-on-2.
2-on-2.
Got to win those high body situations if you're Moscow Red Legion. Bierdnikov trying to cut the angle. Ooh, and now he launches Bierdnikov all the way into the backfield for Houston Heat. Gets a shot in. And gets the other one too. Wow.
Sneaks by both of them. I thought one of them would pick him up, but
that was
too
tough
fast
right there. Bierdnikov excellent with his gun on the run, able to put Chad Boucher in and come around the backside to shoot Mishka in the back, but trade out with Mishka, leaving just one body alive left as Russian Legion going to go up 1 point over Houston Heat early, and we'll be right back after these messages.
On the roster.
We're looking for a guy that's like on our heels every weekend.
My name is Wesley Ward. I'm 23. I'm from Macon, Georgia. Scott Kemp, age 26. Born and raised in Los Angeles, California.
The attitude thing, man, it's one of those things. Some people like it, some don't.
Check this out, the Imperial program from GI Sports. Get 100% of your paint money back in cash. Sign up, win, paint's free. Take second, get half your paint cash back. Not good enough? How about more cash? Have your team rock our V-Force goggles, get first place, then we'll throw you another $1,000 cash. Second place? No problem. We got $500 with your name on it. It's a total no-brainer. Sign up for the Imperial program at gisports.com.
16:44 on the clock, only 1 point on the board so far, and it's Moscow Red Legion who takes an early lead here against Houston Heat. Houston Heat already 5 players out on the field ready to rock. Moscow Red Legion filtering on the field. And again, both of these teams are 1 and 2, so which is crazy to even think about. You know, our defending champs from 2012 not performing in 2013 like they thought it would go. I mean, they didn't change up anything, and you know, like and with Dizon playing the way he is, on paper they should be better this year than they were last year.
Yeah, I mean, last year they were so successful because those first main 5 guys, the 3 Russians, Monville and Chad George, just played so solid together every point. And it's kind of been the inconsistency of that group as a whole, which has gotten these other guys more playing time, which has allowed those players to step up. But as a team, they're not playing as well as a team this year as they were last year.
Yeah, and Michael Kovar, new pickup for Moscow Red Legion, longtime X-Factor player. He gets into Snake 2. He's done a real good job of getting into Snake 2.
Pretty consistently, game after game when he's been out there. Here we got Chad George mirrored up with him, Snake 2 on his side, so.
Yeah, so now making moves over there, top right-hand portion or left-hand portion of your screen was Nick Sloviak trying to get out wide and fill the spot because, oh, there's a penalty? No. Yeah, actually, yeah, penalty on Chad George. So looks like a minor penalty on Chad George is going to pull Nick Sloviak out as well. So just one player left alive on the Snake side of the field for Moscow Red Legion. Here comes the full court press. Oh, I'm sorry, for Houston Heat. Full court press coming from Moscow Red Legion as they have Kovar on the 50-yard line here on the Snake side, and they're also pushing up on the D side as well.
Sergey tried to make an aggressive move to get a quick kill off that Dorito side, but Bierdnikov recognized it, shoots him out, and leaving just Sam Monville over here on the Snake side for Houston Heat. John Woodley is over there in the Dorito side corner, but oh, he gets shot. So he's gonna step off, just Sam Monville left as Bierdnikov was coming.
With the pain train.
Yeah, he was.
They just, you know what, Houston Heat just came off a tough game against the Impact where it was tied 2-2. got a little crazy at the end. They just look like they're down a little bit, like still feeling the effects of that game.
Which it's tough. You know, neither one of these teams is used to being in this situation. You know, they're used to coming into Saturday with more wins than they have losses.
Right.
And now both of these teams, facing an uncertain future here. And so far, though, the lead is in the advantage or favor. The advantage does go to Moscow Red Legion, score 2-0, and we'll be right back after this.
ANSgear.com has the world's largest inventory of paintball equipment, including guns, masks, loaders, paintballs, tanks, and clothing. With free shipping on all orders over $100. Shop now at ANSgear.com.
Pit with Movar. You guys are both wanting to win this match. What do you think is crucial for you guys to accomplish in order to make sure you win it?
Basically stay alive. It's going to be a grudge match. We knew that coming in here. So we just got to play safe behind our bunkers and win our gunfights.
All right, we'll see if they can pull it out.
Well, they're looking good right now. Moscow Red Legion looking pretty good. Heat continuing to struggle off the break, losing bodies on the Dorito side. Moscow Red Legion at 5 strong. Ronnie Dizon coming off early. No confirmed kills for him so far. In fact, the only person playing currently on this field right this second that has any kills whatsoever is Michael Kiesnev, which is Mishka, better known as Mishka. Man, and that guy is, I've talked to a lot of pros over the years, and his name comes up sometimes when we talk about who's the best guy you've ever played with. I've heard Mishka's name mentioned a couple times.
I would definitely, if I had 10 to start with, I would start putting him on that list right away.
Which is that's a bold claim, coming from some of the guys you played with over the years, Steve. But Houston Heat back against the wall right now. I mean, if Houston Heat loses this game, then they're going to go 1-3 in the prelims here.
Not the start that they wanted to have for 2013.
There goes Sergey right there. I'm Dorito too. He's walking off the field right now. 2 bodies over here. Fedorov in the snake with Chad George. But Dizon and Sergey coming off that Dorito side. Fedorov's going to have to get something going as he dives in the snake too and looks across the field. Konstantin Fedorov probably going to play out the rest of this match. Here in Snake 2, Bierdnikov locking off the Dorito side for the Red Legion. Jason Wheeler in the Snake corner. Pantaleev in Snake 2, shooting across the field.
And the body advantage does go to Moscow Red Legion. They've only lost Kirill Britney, who got shot by Fedorov. So 4 bodies for them, 3 for Houston Heat.
Fedorov shooting across the field. There's Bierdnikov with the lock on the Dorito side. Now he's going to switch. Look at Fedorov in the snake. There's Fedorov keeping his head up, looking across the field. With gun up, down the wire if necessary. There goes Bierdnikov on the top of your screen. He bumped from that temple into the mini race bunker in the middle of the field. Fedorov trying to get really low and get a shot out wide down the wire. But Pantaleev just locked in across the field on Mishka in the Dorito 1.
Yeah, tense moments right here because, here we go. I'm going to say Fedorov going to launch and takes out Pantaleev and able to get him out of that position in Snake 2. So nice job by Konstantin Fedorov.
And now the move would be if Chad George comes down the snake side, it'd be a 4 Pantaleev.
Well, the only issue with that, though, is
Wheeler,
now it makes it a 2-on-3.
Oh,
no.
Mishka shot Bierdnikov.
So it's 2-on-2 right now. Kevin Klum and Jason Wheeler left alive for Moscow.
Nope, they just lost Kevin Klum.
So it's just Jason Wheeler left alive over here on the Snake side of the field against Mishka and Chad George.
Mishka doing work over there right now.
I mean, and Chad George will literally just slide on out here to the sideline and be able to get a shot on Wheeler. He doesn't need to because Mishka gets that shot cross field. So just talking about how awesome Mishka is, and he steps up and gets himself a 3-pack in that game, or that point. And so Mishka getting 3 confirmed kills. Konstantin Fedorov with 2, starting to get production, and that's what they need.
They need that.
The production out of those
Absolutely.
2 guys.
Coming into this third point here, they had nothing. They had donuts going there, so that's what they needed, and get a little confidence going to that next point. And like you said, I would expect Fedorov and Mishka to just get a lot of spins now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's look at the key players here. For Houston Heat, Konstantin Fedorov and Mikhail Mishka Kesnev. And, you know, Mishka not having the greatest event. Fedorov playing pretty well, ranked 13th overall. But that's the problem, though, is that these guys, if you can't get production out of these 2 guys, you know, so Mishka stepped up in that particular point there to put a point on the board for Heat. But, you know, that's one of the reasons they're struggling right now is, you know, you got these superstars on the team, they got to contribute. You know, I mean, that's just, there's no other way around it. Not that Heat doesn't have a lot of guys that can contribute, but, you know, when you got your A guys out there, and especially guys like that, they're setting the tempo for everybody else. Let's look at this replay here. Fedorov gonna run the highway inside part of the snake. Boom, goes off to the races, and then just dives right on over.
Air Moscow.
Yeah. And man, he's so athletic.
Got one of his former teammates for years.
We have liftoff. As Fedorov gets airborne over there, bunkers out, Pantaleev runs off.
So let's see if they can keep this up here and try to tie it up.
Walking on the field right now for Moscow Red Legion, you got Lukashuk, Bierdnikov, Kovar, Perhidny, and Golev. Coming on for Houston Heat, Fedorov, Chad George, Ryan Smith, Mishka, and Sergey.
And this game brought to you by Pro Edge Paintball. They have a full line of speedball and tactical paintball guns and gear. A large in-store selection if you're in the Houston area. So you can also receive your order within 1 to 2 business days and free shipping over $100. So visit ProEdgePaintball.com, shop online. See why Pro Edge is the largest store in Houston, Texas. And here we go on the breakout.
Both teams 5 alive.
Alexander Bierdnikov on the field for Moscow Red Legion. Looking at the eye in the sky back line of Houston Heat. Good cross-field spread moves made in the top right-hand portion of your screen as Sergey able to make it up there. Solnishkov into the 40-yard line. See if he can produce out of there.
And it looks like Kirilla's been eliminated by Chad George, so there's a name that they need to get going for Moscow Red Legion. He's got a donut right now. He needs some elimination.
Yeah, Kirill Perhidny, as one of the leaders of the team, definitely needs to get some kills out there. But also on the flip side, Houston Heat, no production coming from, or very little production coming from Chad George. He has 1 kill, but Sergey's got a goose egg on the kill count right now.
Which is surprising, because usually on that Dorito side, he's doing a lot of work over there. And he's obviously right now, as we speak,
yeah,
he's at the 50 Dorito, so.
Great field position right now for Houston Heat. Past the 50-yard line on the D side. They also have Chad George and Snake 2. So Moscow trying to preserve this lead. Here, 10 minutes and 54 seconds remain. Next up after this matchup, we got San Diego Dynasty taking on Edmonton Impact.
Which potentially they could meet up again tomorrow in the finals.
You got Alexander Bierdnikov right there on your screen, just laying down in that mini race bunker, just shooting the cut to keep Chad George from going anywhere. Chad George laying down really low, trying to play the very bottom portion of that mini race bunker in Snake 2 to allow himself to get just a little bit wider to shoot down the wire over here. Oh, there goes Sergey.
Sergey gets shot. He tries to get him, but he missed him there.
So Kirill walks off, or Sergey walks off. Kirill's gone for Moscow Red Legion. So 4-on-4 right now as Konstantin Fedorov leaves the snake corner and goes all the way over to the Dorito side tower, recognizing the 2 bodies over here on the snake side for Red Legion, and Bierdnikov with his gun just locked on the snake side. All the bodies worrying about Chad George. Ryan Smith is still over here on the snake side. So Fedorov, seeing that Mishka's on an island over there on the Dorito side by himself, now in the 40 Dorito, fills across, and he's going to watch that Dorito side lane. You know, Mishka got a bunch of kills and won that point for them last game. He had 3, Fedorov had 2. You know, maybe he can get something going.
That's the move right there. Chad George put in Bierdnikov and moved to that snake Dorito there, and that he did it. So
not an easy thing to do either.
Not against him.
Not against Bierdnikov, but he does, and he's in that 50 Dorito now right here. So he's still going to keep the guns looking toward him. Mishka and Fedorov going to have an opportunity to try and come down that Dorito side a little bit. Mishka in the 40 Dorito. Looking to get a shot in on the Snake 1. Golev's in the Dorito 2 for Red Legion. Michael Kovar just sitting there in Snake 1, shooting across the field.
Yeah, just tightening it up, and Golev taking the walk, but here comes Houston Heat. Oh, but Chad George catches one. Oh, but he gets a shot on Bjernikov as well. So, or maybe that was that Woodley right behind him?
Mishka went into the opposite side of the field and dove into Red Legion's 40 Dorito and shot Bjernikov in the back. This is what they needed to do right here. And then Kovar comes up over the top and gets shot. Jason Wheeler, or I'm sorry, Lukashuk takes off running towards the Dorito side, and he just gets obliterated. So 2 big games back-to-back right there by Mishka, trying to saddle up.
And he's doing it.
Telling everybody to jump on, let's go.
Yeah, 4-pack for Mishka. So, wow. You know, big players have big games. And, you know, Mishka maybe realizing that he'd been dropping the ball a little bit for his team, decided to, hey, you know what? I'm going to step up right now. I'm going to help my team tie this up. So we got ourselves a game here, 8 minutes and 9 seconds. And we'll be right back after this.
I first picked up a paintball gun when I was 9. I used to stand around at the field and stare at the Ironman players, hoping for a shot. I earned my way onto the team when I was 15. We won 2 world titles. When I blew my knee out for the second time, the doctor told me I'd never play again, but I refused to let go of my dream. I'm an Ironman, and paintball is my life.
What makes the Virtue Spire the best loader in paintball?
What makes the Virtue Spire the best loader in paintball?
I see the страна с очень сложными погодными условиями.
Not only is the Spire smaller and lighter than leading competitors,
the Spire is designed to take the toughest abuse that paintball puts out and keep feeding no matter how bad your paint or weather gets.
With a true 200 round capacity, it holds more paint as well.
Not only is it easier to take apart, but more importantly, it's easier to put back together. Find out more at virtuespire.com.
Welcome back, guys. We are coming at you from Maryland. We are right in the middle of the Heat versus Russian game. You guys are tied up right now. What is crucial for you guys? What kind of plays do you have to make in order to take the lead?
You know, on this layout, you know, we just have to stay alive. The first 20, 30 seconds, we got to be able to break it down and stay alive and, you know, just win our gun battles and, you know, we can beat them in the end. So we have smarter players, and we're a better team than them.
Do you think you're going to try to be more aggressive and get down the field? You were doing that in this last point.
You know, I mean, it's really just getting the kill spots to do that. So, I mean, it just depends really where they go, how we counter everything else.
Who takes the lead in this next point?
All right, so we're back here. Just about 8 minutes left to play here in this match. Houston Heat taking on Moscow Red Legion in the grudge match. Both these teams 1 and 2. And on the split screen breakout, Legion going to be on your left and Heat on your right. Let's see if these teams can keep 5 alive off the break. And the refs are getting in there and checking them out. Looks like they're clean, so 5 players alive for both teams. But better field position for Houston Heat as Sam Monville able to get into Snake 1. And now also Heat making moves on that Dorito side.
And there's a name right there, Sam Monville. He's sitting up there with the Donut and Ronnie Dizon, so they need to get those guys going as well. And look at Mishka at nine kills. I'm glad I picked him to be on my team immediately.
Yeah, well, it's about time.
He's making me look good.
Yeah. Well, it's about time he stepped up.
Yeah, it is about time.
But yeah, like you said, Steve, these other guys, they need to step up too. You know, when you're 4 points in and Sam Monville and Ronnie Dizon and Ryan Smith are all combined for 0 kills between 3 of them, you know.
That's an issue.
You know, Houston Heat just not getting production out of guys that they were getting production out of all last year, at least on a consistent basis, which is why they're sitting where they're sitting. But that's the crazy thing about this new format. You know, we could, if Heat doesn't suck it up here, we could see them playing to get relegated down to the Challengers division. How crazy would that be?
That would be oh man, oh boy. There's Ronnie Dizon making, look at this, both mirrored at each other on the Dorito side there. Dorito 2, both players, Houston Heat and Moscow.
Yeah, so now moves being made by Moscow, but they gets taken out. So Pantaleev getting shot.
That should be another one for Mishka right there. Mishka just sitting on that zone. Pantaleev jumps over Snake 2 and gets chopped up. And another body walk off. I think that's Golev again off the Dorito side for Moscow.
You know, it is cool. It's cool to see. Oh no, just struggling right now as Moscow Red Legion dropping bodies all over the place. And, you know, it's cool to see Mishka have a game against his former team. You know, Mishka was the first Russian superstar. He was the first guy from that area of the world to really become a predominant professional paintball player.
Matt, I played against him. His first tournament was in 2000. I played against him in England when they had the true Evel Knievel pants on. Remember the pants?
Yeah.
And then that's when Mishka started. So look at him. He's still here. Solid.
Yeah, so Houston Heat gonna score another point here and taking the lead. So 6 minutes and 14 seconds remain. And we'll be right back after this. All right, we are back. Let's take a look at two of the killers for Moscow Red Legion. Jason Wheeler was the 2012 Rookie of the Year. He's actually from London and was picked up last season by Moscow. He's played pro in Europe for a couple years, but last year was his PSP debut, and he played phenomenal, but not playing good at this event. Now, Kirill Pridny, Kirill, he's the captain of the team and really took over the reins and had to become the leader once they lost Fedorov and Mishka and Sergey. And, he's doing really well. He's got .83 on that kills. That's that key statistic, man. I mean, you're getting close to 1 kill per point. That's top tier right there. So those are the two guys that need to play well, and we really haven't seen much out of Wheeler.
No, not at all. I mean, he struggled a little bit out of that back spot over there on the snake side. And, just both of these teams could be playing a lot better on the whole. Like the reason why Houston Heat was so successful last year, we talked about, is because the way that those 5 top guys played together. And then, the story for Red Legion over the years has just been their solid team play. Their excellent communication, their ability to make adjustments, and we're just not seeing very much of it over here. And, very uncharacteristic of both teams, but, they're both fighting. They're both fighting to get that opportunity to stay in the Champions Division.
And it's anyone's game at this point. Yes, Houston Heat is up by 1, and with just 6 minutes and 14 seconds, we have seen some slower points here as, these guys understand how important this particular game is. But, I'm also interested to see that, Mishka's not coming out on the field for Houston Heat, man. Maybe he's tired, not really sure, but with the way he's playing in this particular game, I would try to run him till the wheels fall off.
Yeah, absolutely. Because
maybe he caught a flat.
Maybe pumping air.
Maybe one of the wheels got a flat. His back probably hurts from carrying the team for the past couple games.
Right? And I get what Coach Trojan's doing as well. He wants to get the guys some spins, but you got to position yourself for the next event and for tomorrow. So I get it. I know he's trying to get some game time, trying to find those combinations he needs, but you can't go 1 and 3 today.
No.
You got to go 2 and 2 at this point.
Well, they do have the lead. Moscow Legion, final player spilling out here onto the field. Get ready to go for this next point. Let's see Moscow here on your screen. Breaking out on the snake side and digging out wide. Getting right into snake 1 off the break. And then moving up into the center is Alexander Biernikov. Kovar in the snake, trying to shoot cross field. He's looking like he wants to move. And then now here comes Houston Heat, filling out on the snake side of the field.
And Chad Boucher gets shot in that Dorito 1 and gets a minor penalty. So Sergey is going to walk off, getting pulled on the penalty, just as Slowiak and Fedorov both filled over towards the snake side in place of Ryan Smith, where he got shot. So both, Slowiak and Fedorov kind of put themselves in this position and then lost all the bodies behind them right there. So this is going to be tough. It should be just a second before we see Red Legion start pushing up that Dorito side, but one of them gets picked off. Golev gets shot again, going up to that Dorito side. They got Michael now in the 50 Dorito on the Snake side. And
Golev's, he does have 3 confirmed kills, but overall for this event, we've seen him shot out of his bunker a couple times, too many times.
And there goes Nick Sloviak, gets shot out of the Snake Tower. So just Fedorov left, but in 14 seconds, Chad Boucher is going to come back out of the box, but Peridny is standing there on the right side of the A.
Just waiting.
Just waiting to blow him to bits.
And Kovar's ready to get him too, so let's see if he gets out, how many steps he's going to get it before he gets it.
He's not going to have a chance.
Yeah,
he didn't have a chance. And he caught a bunch of extra too. So that's going to do it for Houston Heat. At this point, Moscow Red Legion able to tie it up with 4 minutes and probably about 30 seconds remaining in this game. So this is what we expected. We expected that, obviously these are 2 teams that, championship caliber teams, and it's been a couple years since Moscow Red Legion was at its height, but still, this is a team that's won multiple world titles and been around for over 10 years. So, they can't continue to underperform. That's not what they're about. So they'll do whatever it takes here. Well, anyone's game at this point, and it looks like we have an interview here checking in on the Challengers division. Lauren, what's going on over there on the other field?
Hey guys, we wanted to update you on the Challenger bracket, so I'm down here with Matt Rentschler, Top Gun. You guys played, unfortunately lost one, but you're 2 for 3. You're going up to play 187 next. What do you guys need to accomplish to win that one?
We really need to just scout their next match and figure out what to do.
So having a few technical difficulties over there, but yeah, the Challengers games are about to go down, and interesting to note that 2 of the favorites in that division went 0-2 yesterday in Chicago Aftershock and Sacramento Excessive, but also one of the other favorites, 187, were demolishing people out there on the Challengers field. They're 2-0, so they're in the driver's seat, looking pretty strong to try to fight their way, get back into the Champions League here. So there's, now we have 20 pro teams, and there's 2 divisions, and the champs and the challengers. And the thing is that every single event now, man, 2 teams are going down and 2 teams are coming up.
This is gonna be like this all year.
It's gonna be great. It creates a lot of drama, and it's very interesting to see. You can't hide anymore, man. It is completely, everything is on your merits now. So just about 15 seconds to go here before the start of this next point. Let's see who's gonna win this one. What team is going to leave today 1-3, and what team's going to leave 2-2? We're going to find out here shortly. And next up, after this matchup, we're going to have San Diego Dynasty take on Edmonton Impact.
Russian Legion just loses 2 on the break. Kirill and Vasya Panteleev, they're both walking off immediately.
Wow, Ronnie Dizon got bounced in the head going up the middle. So Houston Heat with the 2-body advantage right now, up 5-on-3, allows Chad George to come into Snake 2 and catch one in the face. But quickly behind him, Sam Monville and Ronnie Dizon filling in, taking both Snakes right now. Michael Kovar, he's gonna look to turn the corner. He's gonna come into Snake 2 for Red Legion. Alexander Biernikov in the back center, trying to lock down that Dorito side. And Dennis Golev still over there in the Dorito side corner. Sergey and Mishka over there on the Dorito side for Houston Heat.
Yeah, now time's starting to tick off. Still 3 minutes and 30 seconds to go. And as Kirill and Panteleev came off early for Moscow, so Houston Heat with the body advantage. And about even on the field, though, as far as the cross-field spread for both of these teams. I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility, and it's actually maybe even probable that this could be the last point of this game.
Absolutely. He shot 2 on the break. I mean, they had G2 and right on the break.
Dizon giddies up and just destroys Kovar. Stays alive too. Ronnie Dizon playing awesome, and he's going to get himself another one. Looks like here. Let's see if he can take out, and then smart play off the rest of Houston Heat, playing off of the distraction. Everyone's looking at Dizon right now on Moscow Red Legion, and then the last player's coming off for them. So wow, look at that. Ronnie Dizon has a point. Good job, Ronnie Dizon, man. He's stepped up he has completely elevated his level of game this year. I'm so impressed by him.
Look what happened. Mishka had 9 kills. Ronnie had a donut there a few points back, and now he's got 6 now. So he's turned, like you said, he's turned that back on, and that's what they needed from him. And going into tomorrow.
Yeah, let's check out Dizon here. 17th overall so far in this event, and killing .17 kills per point. Good survival rating. But it's his burst speed and it's his timing that's really impressed me. And I mean, it looks like he's gotten faster and his paintball IQ has gone up since last year.
Well, you would expect that when you're playing with, you know, 2 of the smartest players in the game right now in Mishka and Fedorov, you know, as well as probably the most experienced coach in the league, Jason Trojan. You know, just shows how it makes that much better. He comes up, he puts the tower in, takes off running, deals up Michael Kovar. On the run, stays alive, and makes a good slide into that temple, and is able to keep his body alive. Puts him in, so quick with the burst speed.
Yeah, from the reverse angle here. I mean, look at that perfect form from Ronnie Dizon as he G's up Kovar. So that's what you want to see. I mean, if you're a guy like Jason Trojan, I mean, Jason Trojan is going to give guys reps that produce. You know, I mean, he needs that to happen. And Randy Smith did not put Houston Heat together to go and take 6th and 8th, and you know that's not why this team exists. You know, it's a winning squad. They proved that last year with the 3 wins that they had. That is also remarkable. I mean, other than Dynasty at the height of their powers, have we really seen a team win 3 events in 1 year? No. You know, so for them to come in this year and not make any roster changes, you know, we really thought that they'd be contending every single event and trying to avoid going 1 and 3 here in the prelims.
Oh, sweet overhead shot right there, Moscow Red Legion. Sam Monville gets shot in the face on the break. Ronnie Dizon comes out and looks right into a ball, so the entire snake side for Houston Heat gone right now.
And you're up 4-3 with 2 minutes left, a little more than 2 minutes left. You can wind this clock out, and they didn't do that.
Yeah, Fedorov.
Get to your spots and live.
Yeah, and so Kovar now trying to get a quick kill on Fedorov, but Fedorov able to get out wide. Did he make it in clean? Wow, big fill from Konstantin Fedorov spreading the field. That was huge with 2 minutes left. Now Heat's got a chance to try to stave off the attack. Kovar stuck in the 50-yard line. Bunker on the snake side of the field. It's going to have to come from the Dorito side here because Fedorov able to fill out now all the way to the back bunker. His timing's ridiculous.
Well, it's so creative how he got there. He looked to make the move, saw Kovar staring at him, so he tucked in. Sergey put Kovar in, so Fedorov came out through 1 cut, put Kovar in himself, and then dove out to that snake side tower. So very creative, very intelligent play by Fedorov.
So with the 2-body advantage, Moscow Red Legion only 1 minute and 26 seconds left to try to tie this game up and take it into overtime.
Oh, but they lose Mishka.
And they
lose Sergey as well, so it's just Fedorov. Let's see if he can hold him off. No, he's not going to be able to do it. So Houston Heat dropping the ball on the Dorito side. And Konstantin Fedorov, the last player left alive on the island over here, back bunker on the snake side. And now Bernikov going to hang that flag to tie it up.
You know,
ourselves a ball game here, boys.
I get the fact that Houston Heat lost Monville on the break. Okay, that happens, run into your bunker. But Ronnie Dizon getting to the snake, you're up a point, 2 minutes left, just get in there. And like they did, you got to hide.
What did Justin Rabakov say at the end of his interview in that Impact game?
We hit better.
We hit better.
He said we just out hit him.
You know, you see Dynasty playing the same exact way. Here it is right here. Here's Fedorov. See, he protects himself through the second gap, and then he gunfights his way into that snake side tower.
And then he did the same thing to get out all the way to the back bunker on that snake side. So, you know, Konstantin Fedorov, look at that, super tight. Let's look at it again. Look at this in slow-mo. He comes out, he realizes he does the first gap right there, through the first gap, and then he puts in the player he needs to put in, and then immediately breaks through the second gap. And to the uneducated eye, it may look like he stopped there out in the open, and he was, but the thing about that is that's a calculated move, very creative, like you were saying, Todd, for him to, you know, the bunkers are just out there to put between you and the paintballs. So whether the bunker's right in front of you, like 2 inches from you, or whether it's 60 feet in front of you, it doesn't matter. As long as everyone's blocked out, you are able to make moves like that. But that's the way that Fedorov looks at the game, and that's the reason he's the caliber player, and he's one of the best out there. So, but still, wasn't enough. They lost their whole Dorito side. So, game's all tied up. We're going to be right back after this. So we are back here. 1 minute and 1 second remains here in regulation. It's 4-4 tied up. Houston Heat taking on Moscow Red Legion. Coming out for Houston Heat, Chad George, Konstantin Fedorov, Sergey, Mishka, and Ronnie Dizon. On the flip side, Moscow's got Kovar, Kalum, Golev, Biernikov, and Pantaleev. And here we go on the breakout. Let's see who's going to win this match.
Ooh, Pantaleev right in the goggles on the break.
Yeah, and you know, can a point be scored in a minute? Absolutely. But it comes down to the break and how many players drop off for each team. So with the advantage right now is Houston Heat, but you know, if they don't get another quick kill or start pushing down the field, we will be heading to overtime. And here they go. Oh, but looks like Chad George gets clipped out trying to dive into Snake 2. Konstantin Fedorov right behind him. Sam Monville on the, no, I'm sorry, Mishka on the inside. So it's all tied up as far as the body count is concerned and the points. 23 seconds left, and we're going to have ourselves an overtime, boys.
Yeah, it's going to be
Not
tough.
surprised.
Oh, there goes Fedorov right there, but 16 seconds left. Uh-oh. Here comes Biernikov heading towards the flag.
This is not going to be enough time. He's trying, though. Got to give it up to Biernikov as he launches. Looks like he's going to be able to get in enough time.
Somebody get the flag.
Yeah, there's just not enough time. You got it. You know, again, Biernikov heads up play.
Oh, man, they took Malloy's amazing play run through the middle, and that's happened. Oh, I've watched that 2 or 3 times this weekend on this field alone.
Yeah, you know, and the thing is, if you see your guy launch, first of all, you have to have the composure to understand, okay, a minute left. Okay, we're playing, we got to kill. Oh, Biernikov's going up the center. All right, well, if I see that happen, I'm going to go too.
I'm grabbing the flag.
Yeah, I'm going for the flag.
Yep. Who did we watch yesterday in that perfectly executed 2-on-2? I can't remember who it was, but, I mean, that was the very situation that we always talk about that never seems to happen. As soon as your guy goes down the middle of the field, there were 3 other guys on the field that should have seen him go. Just one of them had to run towards the flag in that situation right there.
Yeah, you can launch, but that's the thing is that, launch forward, but one, like you said, Todd, one guy's got to go for the flag. We saw Kyle Spica with some heroics when San Diego Dynasty was playing Infamous, and you know, Kyle Spica was that guy that had the heads-up play when Tyler Harmon launched and Oliver launched. Spica was like, well, okay, I'll go get the flag, and he dove in, and that was the difference and what sent Dynasty into the finals. So let's check out this replay here. As there's Michael Kovar in the snake for Moscow. There's Biernikov. He's like, you know what? Okay, I don't have any time, man. I'm just going to go. I'm not going to be the guy that sits in my bunker and lets time expire when we have a chance to win it. I'm going to try to make something happen. So Kovar playing off of him. And Kovar, see, that was the problem. Kovar was locked in that gunfight. And then he slipped and just not enough time. So Kovar was definitely pushing as aggressive as he could have gone. So I don't think it was Kovar's move to go get the flag.
No, Kovar behind him.
Kovar was the only body over here on the snake side.
It was not his bad at all. Kovar did exactly what he needed to do in that point. Got in there, stayed alive, pushed forward, saw Biernikov go, he went. But it needed to be another body from that opposite side of the field from the Dorito side. So here we go, 3 minutes on the clock now. Crazy thing is that, you know, here, because there's so many, we play 12 games a day on this field, so the shootout only exists in the finals on Sunday. I'm sorry, in Sunday's competition, because we have to determine a winner. So these teams could tie here. If the 3 minutes goes down and no one wins the point, then this will be a tie game, and both these teams will have 1 win, 2 losses, and a tie. So now here on the breakout, crucial point here in overtime, and it looks like both teams at 5 alive, and no, it looks like Lukashuk. Yeah, Lukashuk getting shot out. So 4 bodies alive for Moscow. You're looking at Chad George on your screen right now.
Ooh, Jason
Sam
Wheeler.
Monville. So Jason Wheeler gets shot too. And so not looking good for Moscow. They do have a player as Biernikov, of course.
Takes the snake to slow those guys down because he knows if he doesn't go in there, they're coming down the snake
He knows that, okay, well, man, okay, now we're looking at, we have 3 bodies, they have 5. We only have 3 minutes. We got to play this out and try to go for the tie. Maybe I can get some kills in here is what he's thinking, but they're looking at 5 bodies, and Heat doesn't really look like they're not really pushing their advantage.
And look at the Russians. They're down 2 players, and they're at the Dorito 3 for them, so.
And there comes Sam Monville.
So Sam Monville didn't even shoot, and Sam Monville dropping the ball over here, runs past Biernikov, not able to get a shot on him.
Oh, man. Huge swing right there for Moscow Red Legion, but Mishka still alive over here as he comes across. He's in Snake 2. He's got Fedorov behind him, but Dizon gets shot as well off that Dorito side, so 3 bodies. Just the 3 Russians left alive now for Houston Heat.
Yeah, mental mistake by Sam Monville there.
And 3 of the Moscow Red Legion players still alive. You got Biernikov here in Snake 2. You got Kevin Kolm across the field on the Dorito side with Dennis Golev.
Yeah, so with 1 minute and 10 seconds left to go, it's all tied up on the body count. We very well could see a tie game here. Moscow Red Legion with better field position on the Dorito side, now pushing past the 50, trying to make something happen.
Mishka better get a little bit lower. He's going to get hit in that harness.
Yeah, and I don't know if I think it's Mishka over here in the Snake. We don't really see him in the Snake very often. And
bodies were flying off. He just had to grab a bunker that was available.
Whatever bunker's available.
Oh, and trying to make a move, Dennis Golev going down the field. He gets shot for Red Legion. So
29 seconds
now
to
3
go.
on 2.
Oh, and he got the shot on, so Mishka taking out his former teammate. And referee in there checking out. And that looked like a pretty clean bunker move, and Biernikov almost got a penalty on there. As you see that, as he kind of spun around, took 3 or 4. So there we go, Houston Heat gonna take the victory in the last seconds. Can he get it in time? Sergey diving in, and it looks like they are gonna get the victory. So Houston Heat squeaks by Moscow Red Legion, just 7 seconds left in this overtime point. Wow, that was as close as it gets.
Man. Those 3 players right there that you're looking at for Houston Heat, those guys are some serious ball players down there. I mean, I tell you what, those guys right there, I mean, stepping up when it mattered.
10 kills for Mishka, 6 for Konstantin Fedorov. And Sergey, he didn't have a good game. He only got 1 confirmed kill, but I'll tell you what.
When it was time to be there for the go time, he was there.
Hey, he hung the winning point, so it worked in the end for Houston Heat.
And like, Houston Heat finishes off 2-2 for the prelims, and the Russians, I can't remember the last time they went 1-3. I mean, and guys, their games were all pretty close all weekend. Like, they're there.
Yeah, you know, Houston Heat, they are such a legendary team, and you know, they've won a lot of tournaments. You know, I mean, going all the way back to 2006 when they won the World Cup for the first time. Yeah, I'm sorry, Red Legion. Yeah, so, you know, you're talking about a team here that really is in a serious rebuild, and I think that maybe that reality is starting to set in for Moscow at this point, because they put a lot into the effort for this particular event. They came out 2 weeks ahead of time, and they trained intensely specifically to avoid what's happening to them right now. So it's tough, and they really haven't been in this position before, you know, regardless of who they put out on the field. Normally, you know, getting it done, but it's not working for them this year so far. And look at this replay here. And that was Sam Monville running past Biernikov and not able to get the shot at him. And Malloy's like, okay, well, you missed me, bro. I'm just going to turn around.
And you know, like, that move right there could have backfired on Sam there, so he should be giving big hugs to Fedorov and Mishka.
Yeah, and this was that play earlier where you had Biernikov trying to score the point before regulation ended, and Kovar doing whatever he could do over on the Snake side as well. Can't fault him at all. But, you know, Moscow had a chance to win that game. It was close, though. I don't want to knock them too much. I mean, they didn't really have a lot of time, but if somebody had sprinted for that flag, you know, they would have, we could have been seeing them raising their fist in victory in this grudge match between 2 teams that obviously very closely, evenly matched. But, you know, with the 3 guys that we saw in that point for Heat, you know, they all came off of Moscow. They left that program after being with them for a long period of time. You know, Mishka and Fedorov made their names helping Moscow win all those championships and win all those tournaments. You know, so frustrating turn of events if you're a Moscow Red Legion fan, underperforming here in 2013. It looks like we have Lauren Kelly on the sidelines with Chad George from Houston Heat. What do you got for us, Lauren?
Hey guys, standing down here with Chad George from Houston Heat. That was a really close match. You guys played the Russians and you beat them during overtime. What was running through your minds during that overtime point?
You know, it was back and forth game the whole match, and they're playing really well. They started locking us down towards the end, and you know, we just had to, you know, play our game, impose our will, and that's something we really didn't do the whole tournament. But I think we finally found it at the end there, a little too late. We went 2-2, not going to make it into Sunday, but pretty happy about winning the last match.
Yeah, what problems do you think you guys are experiencing as a team this season as opposed to last season?
Just little mistakes. I don't know. I think it's compounding from last year. Little mistakes that we didn't make last year. I think just, little stuff's hurting us in the end.
What are those little things?
Little things. Well, penalties are one. I'd say a little communication in the field, teamwork. I think, we could do a little better at that.
All right, well, next up is Impact versus Dynasty. Who do you think's going to win that one?
Oh, I hope Impact are my boys.
All right, we'll see you when.